The Adventures of Batman.
Welcoming you to the new adventures of Batman.
Welcome to episode number 15 of BATMANIMATION. I got it right the first time. Ryan Lauer. A Batman on Film podcast where we explore the animated adventures of The Dark Knight. Did I get that right too, Ryan Lauer?
Maybe Dark Knight, Caped Crusader, Batman,
The Batman.
We know he's got so many aliases.
Yes.
So, but you got
Batmanimation
animation right. That right there.
That was a big deal.
We had applause in post.
I am Bill Ramey. I am the founder of Batman on Film, and this is our first BOF show of 2023. So happy New Year, everybody. Ryan.
That means that this kicking off the 25th anniversary of Batman on Film.
It is. This is kind of
something called Epilogue. I hope that doesn't mean anything.
No. So did you do anything special for New Year's?
I watched Michigan lose against TCU.
Okay. Did that ruin the rest of your day?
It didn't, because it was a very entertaining game. Michigan shot themselves in the foot multiple times. So the fact that they even had a shot at the end was a little remarkable. It just kind of stunk that the game ended in quite a whimper instead of some sort of excitement.
Yeah.
Ended on a miscue.
Yeah.
The ending of that freaking game ended on a miscue. But then I just hung out with went over to a friend's house and played some games and stuff. Nothing too wild. I'm in my upper 30s now.
Yeah.
Those wild New Years are long in the past.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a good time. We were still up until like 3 or 4 in the morning, but
okay.
It was fun. Good times. What about you? Did you see Midnight?
No.
No.
No. I did, because I woke up because people were blasting fireworks all around, and it woke me up. So, and then Rachel said, "Oh, it's about to turn midnight." So that was it. And I was back asleep about 30 seconds after that. But the thing is, our anniversary is on December 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So we always do something on the 30th. So that kind of takes place of New Year's Eve. Right.
That's your New Year's.
So New Year's Eve is my thing. Is just watch football day and cook and stuff like that. Maybe you watch a movie or whatever. And so it's chill on the 31st. Right. So that's
right.
just, yeah.
There you go.
So yes, we are going to talk about an episode from Justice League Unlimited titled Epilogue. It's from season 2. It is episode 13. It aired in 2005. It was written by Bruce Timm and Wayne McDuffie, with the screenplay or the teleplay by Wayne McDuffie. And it is essentially, Ryan, as you know, it is kind of the epilogue, I think, in my opinion, refers to Batman Beyond. It serves as a capper and ending to Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond series. The Batman Beyond series just ended, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was no finale or anything like that. So, truth be told, this is the only episode of Justice League Unlimited I've ever watched. In fact, even with what was the first one? Just Justice League?
Yeah.
I've never watched any of those.
I've watched the first half of that series, because they released it in, I don't know if they did, if there was just 2 seasons of 26 episodes for Justice League.
Yeah.
and I bought those both on Blu-ray, and I've watched the first season. Didn't see the second season, and then like you, this is the only Justice League Unlimited episode I'd ever seen.
I only watched it because I did enjoy Batman Beyond animated series. And so I discovered, and this was after the fact, to be just honest, that this episode existed, and it was a capper to Batman Beyond. So I sought it out and watched it, and I enjoyed it. So we're going to discuss it today. So when we decided early in the week, you want to do a let's say I goofed it up again. Batmanimation.
There you go.
Episode. Yeah, you said, and I said, And then I finally thought,
you're hilarious though, because you're like,
yeah.
You want to do a Batmanimation? I said, yeah, sounds good. And you're like, okay, you pick the episode. And I said, okay, I'll think about it. And then you go, how about Epilogue?
Yeah, honestly,
Okay.
I was going to say once, and I did text you that, and I thought, and it just popped. What about Epilogue? I was trying to think of something we haven't done yet. We haven't done anything,
Sure.
I don't believe, from Justice League. And, our stance here is, and our requirement is, it's got to be a Batman-centric episode. And even though Batman is in the Justice League episodes and is important, I don't know if we'll go down that route with any of them, other than the ones that may be Batman-centric, and this one certainly is. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's discuss Epilogue. So like I said, it's essentially a capper to Batman Beyond. It starts out, it's set 65 years in the future from, I'm assuming, what's going on during the time period of Justice League Unlimited.
For everybody that's panicking, it's on HBO Max, but I think this is one of the series that's leaving HBO Max at the end of January. So if you have HBO Max, that's where you can find it. I have no concerns because it's probably going to pop up on one of the other popular streamers. But I know people are worried that it's pulling, DC superhero stuff. So you have until the end of the month to watch this one on HBO Max, just as a, if you need to navigate and find a way to watch it somehow.
Yeah. And I think, I think you could find it anywhere else, but you can always, I know Amazon Prime, if you want to buy the episode, it's,
you can buy it there, buy Apple,
like $1.99 or whatever.
$1.99.
Yeah. So, and I would also say probably a lot of people who are listening to this probably have Blu-ray or DVD or whatever of this. So anyway, 65 years in the future, we find Terry McGinnis, who he's in disguise, or he's supposed to be in disguise, or his identity is in the dark, so he's not known for sure who it is.
He is the shadows.
Yes, he is. He is breaking into a mansion that's heavily guarded, and we end up finding out he is confronting an aged Amanda Waller. He wants some answers. Dadgummit.
Dadgummit.
And so that's where we are left. And then we get it's kind of like the intro teaser. And then there's the overly dramatic music and intro to the Justice League Unlimited series. And then we're back at it. And the episode kind of goes between the colored version of Terry and Amanda Waller's confrontation, and then going back to the past at times where it's in black and white. And then, so what's your thoughts about how it opens up and how the whole Amanda Waller thing and Terry and all that play out?
Well, a bonus is that I've seen this a handful of times, just this episode, and it's so spaced out that I don't fully remember. And I do remember the scene that we'll get to, involving the original Batman, but the rest of it's always almost like a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
And so I do kind of
found,
I forget
yeah,
what's going on and stuff. And
I'm
the
with
black
you.
and white parts always get me. I'm kind of like, oh, okay, so it's catching us up of what's been going on, and then until the end, and you realize that uh not all is as it seems when it comes to the black and white
Yeah.
quote unquote flashbacks.
Yeah.
And it's
True.
surprising because, you know, including Amanda Waller. Now, this Amanda Waller is a much nicer Amanda Waller than the one we're all accustomed to right now that we've seen the past, 6 years or so. She seems just like a little nicer, and has a little bit more of a soul, I guess you could say. Feelings, emotion, empathy, all that here, which is kind of nice. I'm unfamiliar with her because I don't remember many of the Justice League cartoons that I have seen. So this version of that character is just unfamiliar. So I don't know. I just feel like she's a lot nicer.
How old is? Oh, now, I will say I must note Terry is now a grown ass man. He's not teenager, quote unquote, like he is in Batman Beyond series.
Yeah.
He looks quite a lot like Bruce Wayne. Scratching my chin.
Yeah.
But he does still look like an older version of the character we knew from Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
And he's rather angry with Amanda Waller. He even breaks her antique teacup.
Oh my goodness.
Smashes it out of her hand, and it falls on the floor into a million pieces. And he's confronting Bruce Wayne, so how old is Bruce here? He's got to be in his 90s.
176.
Okay. All right.
It checks out.
If anybody can be 176, that'd be Bruce Wayne, right?
Bruce Wayne finds a way. He's got to be inching to triple digits.
Because he's, what is he, 80 in Batman Beyond?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't remember. I'm not an expert on that series.
And his aesthetic, the way he is drawn, he is much older than even the Batman Beyond version of Bruce Wayne. He's much more frail, just older in appearance, period.
And Kevin Conroy even, I think, goes even further to get like that, a really gravelly voice too. That's noticeably different than the version in Batman Beyond.
Yeah. And so the thing is, Terry discovers, let's just get to it. Terry discovers that his father is, wait for it, Bruce Wayne.
In a weird freaking way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Amanda Waller realizes we always need a Batman. Gotham needs a Batman. So Batman, I laughed at this and how she said, it does a scene of Batman leaves his DNA all over Gotham, and she said something like, not in that way. Yeah. And then continues talking, and I started laughing. And that's a good way to sneak in something that might go over a kid's head.
Yeah.
But it collects it, and then had to find like a newer version of Thomas and Martha Wayne, and I don't remember Terry's parents. I don't remember their names.
Yeah.
The dad thought he was getting a flu shot. Actually got Bruce Wayne, Batman's DNA put in him. And then a year later, Terry was born. And in a nice added addition here, she almost wanted to have an origin just like Batman's.
Yeah.
So in this, and maybe it's come up before, Amanda Waller knows who Batman is then. Otherwise, how would she know that, Batman's parents were murdered? And so was going to call in the Phantasm to take out Terry's parents. And Andrea Beaumont, we assume, we never hear, but we do hear Amanda Waller say she doesn't go through with it. And this is actually my overall thoughts of this episode is I don't like it as much as it seems everybody does. I don't like, I think it's a crutch and it's a shortcut for something to come in and take credit for something that happened before, even though there was no hint at all that was ever the plan. And so just out of nowhere to end a Batman Beyond series and then to basically just be like, Terry, we shot your dad with Batman's DNA and now Bruce Wayne's actually your dad.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, what?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of exposition to get to that point, I sort of feel. And that to me, like, that bugs me. That really drags the episode, I think.
I was thinking when I was, well, I thought, I've watched it several times. I said to myself, do I need to watch it again to discuss? But of course I do.
Yeah.
So, because my thought was, is it on HBO Max? What am I going to do if it's not? But it was. And I'm like you, I remembered it differently or forgot things, right? And also, I was thinking, okay, how does this? I know that I'm also not one to try to look into, into movies or animation, anything fiction like this, and try to nitpick it completely to death to where you don't enjoy it. I mean, some things you just
Sure.
take it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I am with you a little bit on. I think it's a little bit of a stretch. Not a little bit. It's kind of a stretch completely, even though it's fantasy animation fiction. But the fact that in Batman Beyond, it was such a happenstance that Bruce even met or Terry met Bruce, and just discovered the bat suit and the whole from that very first episode of Batman Beyond. And because I was thinking, how did they set all that up? I had completely forgot about the phantasm and the parents and trying to recreate the whole, having your parents murdered in front of you and with Terry and the whole 9 yards. But, how do you get to a point to where, okay, the phantasm didn't go through it. So how was there going to be, what was the chance that he was going to end up meeting Bruce Wayne? Even with his father dying. It's a little bit too convenient,
And I can totally, I accept, just like a lot with comics, I accept a lot with animation. So I can go with it, whatever. But it all just, once it's kind of in my mind of like, wait, come on, then it's there. And then I start to just kind of, I think, look closer, focus harder from then on. And I'm like, well, I don't really like that. That doesn't sit well with me. A little eye rolly. So I just want to like get that part out. And I think with the Justice League series, Justice League Unlimited, why I didn't just get sucked into that is because I think there's always a lot of comparisons with the animated series, and rightfully so, but it's because they tried to make a little bit of a continuation of that series, even though it went through dramatic changes. So it's much easier for me to not compare the Batman cartoon to Batman the animated series because it's not a continuation. It's something different. So I don't have to be like, well, I kind of wanted the animated series. It's like, no, this is something new, something different. Whereas Justice League series is well, it's kind of like a continuation. It's like, well, then it should be a lot similar in this way, this way, this way, and this way if it's a continuation. This is a continuation of Batman Beyond, which was a continuation of Batman the Animated Series. So it's all just kind of like, I don't think the Phantasm aspect holds up a whole lot. She wasn't some assassin for hire. That's not the character.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, but it
That's
was
a little
like,
bit of, don't you find it a little bit of like, let's kind of force Mask of the Phantasm, Batman the Animated Series into this, and kind of say, hey, see, it's all connected.
It's all connected. Always.
Yeah.
It doesn't work if it's not connected. And of course, admittedly, you just see the Phantasm and you're like, oh, cool. Because affinity for that story. And also the costume of that character I think is badass. But those are like my negatives. That's my negative with the episode.
Okay.
I think a lot of people forget or quickly are just look past that stuff. I can't speak for anybody except myself.
I am in agreement with you with all of that.
Okay.
I think in retrospect, if there had been some seeds planted in Batman Beyond, that Bruce may be more than just his mentor, just some seeds,
something,
some crumbs, breadcrumbs, Hansel and Gretel,
And on a plus side of it, Bruce Timm, they got to give an ending to Batman Beyond this way.
Yes.
So with that, it's like, oh, good, because I would always like somebody to be able to put an ending to their story. So I'm glad that they were at least able to do this. But I think for me, the highlight for everybody, I feel like the highlight and why I think this episode is really put up there, is for the Batman scene in the middle of the episode with what's the character's name?
Ace.
Which, I mean, I don't follow. And Pete loves to act like all I do is just stay in Gotham and I never listen to. It's because some of this stuff just gets a little too far out there for me.
Yeah.
Ace is a kid, but also mind something creates different reality. Like, I don't know. It's quite a trip. And so sometimes that's just not my thing. But because she's going to die, you can summarize it better than I can. I know you have a pad of paper and notes. Set us up for this part.
So it's the Royal Flush Gang. Some version of the Royal Flush Gang. Ace is part of it. She gave the other 3 or 4 members, other 4 members, she'd be 5 for 5 cards. But she gave them their powers. They're wrecking havoc. The Justice League, well, who's in it? Stargirl, Hawk Girl, our old friend Red Tornado.
Or no?
There's a Green Lantern, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Batman. So this is, this for me, this is when it's losing me here, this episode. Because I, don't care about any of that stuff. And Batman's there. And so this Ace, who's Cadmus, who Amanda Waller is behind, all that. Okay. She was a tool of the government. They, reminded me of Stranger Things in a way. Did you watch Stranger Things?
Some.
Yeah. But yeah.
I couldn't go there. I stopped.
Yeah. So it reminded me that Ace is like the Millie Bobby Brown character.
Okay.
11 in Stranger Things. They similar, government, the telepathic powers, but she's got them multiplied because she can create alternate reality. Somehow, I get it. I took it as she's going to when she died. It was almost going to be like a freaking bomb explode, or I don't know. And so Amanda Waller says, so we got to take her out before she dies. And Batman agrees to do it. Oh, Batman's going to kill. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That was, I almost did a Minnesota. Oh, no. Right there. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no. So, so Batman agrees and he goes into whatever alternate reality with all these strange looking mushroom looking plants and a castle and all
Mario
kind of
Land?
yeah.
It's a Mario.
Yeah. And then, you know, and then there's Luigi and Mario jumping on mushrooms
Yeah.
and the princess
Let's
is,
go.
princess is on top of the castle where Batman is at, and Bowser comes in. Anyway,
Crazy. It's all connected.
Haas would like that, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So he finds Ace and she's swinging on a swing set, and she just kind of, I'm going to die and I'm scared. And I know you weren't going to kill me. No, I wasn't. And he sits in a swing and he holds her hand. This scene did nothing for me.
Oh, it did nothing for you. Okay.
No, I mean, it was just too much of the stuff with Batman that I don't like. The superheroes and the Justice League and all this, telepathy and all this. The part with Batman holding her hand, staying there with her, and bringing her out is sweet, yes, but it doesn't knock me out as far as that's some of the best Batman stuff I've ever seen in my life. No, so that's just me. Your take.
So my take on it is that I think that's a good Batman moment in the animation, because he's basically he's walking up to a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Classic Batman. He's not afraid.
Yeah.
He is, and he's just not showing it because that's also Batman. But he sees this is still a living thing. This is a person. And Amanda Waller, what is her assignment? Always is for the greater good. A lot of times it comes at whatever means necessary, including if we've got to get dirty about it, but it's for the greater good. So here it's, you have a nuclear bomb. You need to get rid of the nuclear bomb because that nuclear bomb is going to kill a lot of people. Hey, that doesn't sound so crazy to me. The only bad thing is that the nuclear bomb is a living person.
Yeah.
So giving Batman a tool to go get rid of it, now we could say get rid of her. That starts to get like, oh, that's not Batman though. Batman doesn't kill.
Yeah.
So he finds an alternate way, which is sit, calm down. That's going to diffuse, and she'll just pass peacefully. So that to me definitely highlights the character of Batman in this crazy setting that I'm not usually. I mean, I'll follow Batman wherever he goes, but it's not my thing to have him doing in these not weird, like very sci-fi settings, other beings, space, like all that stuff. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
But at the core of it, they got the character right.
Yeah.
So I think that's why people go to this episode. I think that's why people put this on the mantle of it's so great. I don't think just that moment should just encapsulate the whole episode. For me, it is a good moment, but it didn't. What do the kids say? I wasn't shook. I didn't cry. I didn't have a tear in my eye. And it's not because I don't feel emotions while watching TV shows or movies at all. It's just, I don't think it's a top 10 or top 20 Batman moment, but I think it's a good Batman moment when you look at the core of it and you kind of forget about all the other factors of that setting, and you think about like, okay, but what's Batman doing? Oh, he's taken an alternate route from killing.
Yeah.
Because he sees a living human being here. And he finds a different way. And I think that is a core character element.
I agree. It's very Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because of the setting it's in.
Yeah.
It just takes it takes a lot away from it for me personally, where we've seen Batman do this in comics and film and in more Batman centric settings.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So that's just, like I said, that's just me.
And you're not a total hater
take
on that kind of stuff because you love Brave and the Bold, as we have talked many times.
Yes.
Where Batman does
Yes.
end up in some crazy settings with some
Yes.
wild characters. But
and I've people ask, well, how can that be your favorite animated? And I always say it's how it's presented.
yeah.
Not that Brave and the Bold is a goof,
Mm-hmm.
but the way it's presented under with the idea of it being it's a love letter Batman and Batman history and a little bit of DC history as well, that and the kind of that's first and foremost what that animated series is, where this is, you're trying to be serious with this series, and that's when it just doesn't work for me with Batman when you're trying to be serious with the character.
Mm-hmm.
And you have all this fantastical stuff going on. It just takes I stay in Gotham. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to get out of Gotham. So, and I think Batman works best. If you're going to do a serious Batman, you got to he works best when he is presented in a way that makes everyone, even the mainstream general audience, why he's so beloved. We relate to him because he's a human. You're not right. And I always say, then I say, well, look at the animated, Justice League animated series and Justice League Unlimited. And I'm like, okay, yes, are those series done very well? Yes, but the audience is not the general audience, right?
Yeah.
The audience is fans, and fans who like Justice League, and they accept things like that. So, not to get off on a op-ed piece here, when you think about live action film and it's being made for the general audience to make the most money possible, you want to present in this case Batman in a way that is most accessible and likable to the general audience. So enough of that soapbox and opinion right there.
All I hear is that you just hate the DC universe, Bill.
That's all you. Yeah,
that's all I got out of that. Yeah,
it was
big
like
hater of DC
I was
universe.
talking like Charlie Brown's teacher, and just went, I hate the DC universe, and that was it. But getting back to the episode epilogue, like I said, if it had been going back and revisiting it this time I watched it, if there had been some breadcrumbs, some seeds planted in Batman Beyond where this didn't come off as much as like a huge retroactive change to the series, then it might have bumped up. It may be more, I might like it. I do like it quite a bit. I may like it even more. I think the reason I like it as much as I do, and it's not like in my top, think about Batman episodes, right? Wouldn't be up there high, but I do like the fact that it gives a closure to the Batman Beyond
Sure.
series.
Yeah, and I mean, surprisingly, and I do like the Batman, what that Batman scene means. The strength of it is actually, um, Will Friedle.
Yeah.
I think he's great as Terry McGinnis.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a strength in Batman Beyond. I think he's great, and I do like the Terry McGinnis character.
Mm-hmm.
I like that series. I don't love it, but a huge reason that I do like the series is because of him. So I do like his scenes there with Amanda Waller. So even though I said it's very exposition heavy, the whole episode of just like talking, he's doing a good job talking, like he in acting and all of that. I think that's a major strength of the episode. I'm a little eye rolly with it all as he leaves, and he's like, "What does he say? Just like my father, or something?" As he's walking out of
Yeah.
the room with
Just like
Amanda
my
Waller, and I'm like,
just like yeah, yeah.
"You say my old
Um
man?"
yeah.
Okay.
When that part where he goes back to, well, let's finish up here and just kind of
Yep.
so apparently that story that Amanda Waller tells him about Batman and Ace and all that kind of shakes Terry and
He shook.
gives him a new perspective. He knows he also thinks that Bruce was behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, Bruce planning those nanobot DNA, the alter, of his
Yeah.
into Terry's McGinnis father, and he thinks he's nothing more than a clone of Bruce Wayne, but he's actually, he's Bruce Wayne's son, just not a clone of Bruce. And there's scene of him. He breaks up with Dana because
Mm-hmm.
just can't. Batman can't have anybody around him.
Yeah.
That which he thinks is what that was Bruce. He just want to be like Bruce,
Prerequisite to be
So
Batman.
now he's not, he's going to be just like Bruce. I can't have anybody. I can't have family and blah 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 blah. So in the end, he's back at Wayne Manor. He calls Dana at 3 a.m. Says, "We still on for Friday." This is after they broke up. Yeah, I mean, when did they? So he broke
You
up with her,
thought
but
they
still,
did.
yeah,
The black and white, you thought they did. And that's what I mean.
yeah,
That's where I got like, wait,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's got an engagement ring. He can't tell her. He's going to tell her Friday when they go out. So we're left with Terry is going to marry his longtime love Dana and be happy. And then he has this last, well, not because Bruce is still alive, but the last part of the episode, this exchange with Bruce Wayne, where
Some cold soup, which you know what it made me
yeah,
think of? Maybe it was fishy soie. It's
yes,
supposed to
oh,
be cold.
I even though I have my eye rolls and like that's kind of a little bit too convenient and you're retroactively changing things. I think that final scene with Bruce and Terry is pretty cool. I mean, Bruce
Yeah.
kind of comes off as
Clint
an
Eastwoodish.
old father. Yeah, it's like I made you some soup. I mean,
It's probably cold. It's cold.
that's about best that Bruce can do of saying, I really care about you.
Yeah.
He just says, I made you some soup.
Mhm.
And you're just stubborn. I'm just like, you're stubborn. Bruce tells him, yes, just like my old man. And then
Mhm.
he's
And then it flies off in a
yeah,
nod to, I think everybody would probably notice it, of extreme nod to On Leather Wings,
yeah,
Batman the Animated Series episode. I mean, even the same line of from the police officer of, "Did you see that?" And then they do a Batman Beyond version of the animated series theme,
yeah,
or music and stuff like that, which I think is cool. A good, you know, uh, what do you always say? At the ending of Batman Begins, it's like you are high-fiving and like,
yeah,
wow. I mean, it kind of sends off with that kind of like a
yeah,
vibe, which is cool and I appreciate.
yeah. He's going to see. He's not going to see Gordon. He's going to see Superman. Kent, as Bruce Wayne says. So there you have it. Overall, solid B.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know,
A B.
because when I talk negatively about something, I feel like I probably was really harsh on it. I was just trying to speak honestly.
No.
Yeah, I think it's probably like a B.
Yeah.
The reasons that it doesn't just really hit for me, it's definitive. Those are my feelings on it. I don't think those are going to change, but I think there's strengths to the episode. I think there's good stuff for the episode. I respect the episode, and glad that they got to put a capper on Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
And so with those strengths, it's not something I need to revisit very often, which, I haven't. So, but if it comes across again, it's not like, oh God, it won't be a slog. It's just not a top episode I need to revisit. But
I'm not. I think we're probably in the same range. I think I may have liked kind of like that last scene with Bruce and Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say saves it for me, but kind of puts me at ease with some of the misgivings I have about some of the other stuff.
If an ending can send you off, happy, then you're kind of like, okay, you can I think it helps you with the thing overall.
Yeah.
If it really ends in such a whimper and like a burp, then I think it's less likely you have great opinions of the episode. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we talk about the reason I really wanted to talk about this one is because I think it's important in Batman animation history.
Yeah.
That it is they gave Batman Begins a capper, an ending.
Beyond.
I said Batman Begins. Batman Beyond. Yes. Sorry. Batman Beyond gave it an ending, and it's an ending where you can continue the story however you want in your mind, because
which is how it should be for Batman.
Yes.
In some cases. There are some cases where they gave it an ending.
Yeah.
That was good. But anyways.
So that's it. And reason why I want to talk about it. Glad we got all these perspectives out. I'd be interested, like the reason I guess my affinity toward Batman Beyond is because that was the series that I watched with my kids when they were little.
Yeah. And we know Micah's a huge fan of that show.
Micah loves Batman Beyond. So him and his sister, and then later Jake. That's what we watched it Saturday mornings when it first aired, and so that's all. It's kind of like Batman Forever, because that was the film we would watch, when we'd watch a live action Batman. So yeah, that's I got some nostalgic sentiment toward the series because of that. So that's it. That's all I got.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've said my piece on it.
Yes. So did you have a lot of joy during the holidays?
Joy to the world.
Okay. No negativity toward joy, right?
No, it made me happy. All of it. It was joyful.
Good.
Joyful is the term. There you go.
Awesome. All right.
Joyful holiday season.
You want to plug anything?
Would love to. Check out Batman on Film. My name you click on it. There's reviews out the wazoo of the main Batman title. Actually, a new, check it out for
131 Batman.
131 Batman 131. Batman Beyond the White Knight, as well as past interviews and posts. Also, because you posted on there generously, the Batman Book Club, my podcast exploring the Dark Knight Library. The last episode was with our pal, our favorite Italian, Boudin Pockets, Peter Rivera, where we did the wrap up of December, new Batman comics in December. That was a really fun, good discussion. You were actually on there recently talking the very first Batman issue,
Mm-hmm.
A Case of the Chemical Syndicate. So check that out. And then actually what's coming to that show this month is talking Tom King's Batman run, a couple episodes in different ways. So make sure to check that out.
Oh, that's it's going to be a multi-episode discussion.
Yeah, different guests.
Okay. Yeah.
Talking different aspects of the run. So
okay.
Pretty exciting.
Awesome.
Got the first one underway, just waiting to drop it.
Real quick, I have to ask you
Mm-hmm.
with Batman 131. I texted you and I said after reading it, I went, I think I might possibly dig this storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And then and I got your review. You reviewed it favorably. Which I mean, do you like the premise? I mean, I like the premise of you're stripping Batman down to the very core of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's got to be Batman in a world. He's for the first time again,
Mm-hmm.
in a way. Get any quick thoughts on this before we go?
Reviewed favorably because, yeah, I do like it's a gritty, grounded take. Completely different from the last arc, which I said in the review, I think big, bombastic, Michael Bay comic book, basically, you know.
Yeah.
It's just nothing but action. And a person, especially Batman, fighting a machine. They made Terminator movies that were really good, but otherwise that's not my jive.
Yeah.
I was entertained enough by that first arc, but I was really glad when it was done. And this seems to almost be, it's same writer, but it's going to be the opposite. That was like just Bruce in the Batsuit, the whole arc, big action fights the whole time. This is Bruce and what's left of the suit, which is hardly anything. And it's, you know, street level.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's going to be a Bruce story. Now, who knows? I have no idea. I don't know how long this arc is going to be, where it's going to go, anything like that. It's just like, okay, starting off as just Bruce. So we'll see. I so miss status quo Batman at Wayne Manor with Alfred, Batcave, Batmobiles. I miss that, but that's the whole point for these offshoot miniseries. We're getting that there. Yeah. So we're kind of getting everything with Batman. So your initial question, we'll see where this arc goes. I like the first part.
Yep, I'm with you. All right, I will plug this: Batman-on-film.com.
Oh, okay.
That's all you got. Just go there.
25 this year.
25 years. Did I ever tell the story about how I started Web
TV?
I don't tell anybody that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Kind of keep that on down low. Started Batman film on the web TV. I think I have, but if you want to hear that story, just go find the BOF Chronicles.
Go to Batman-on-film.com.
Yeah, there's a podcast series about the history of Batman on film that me and Ryan did. So with that,
there you go.
Announcer Rachel will take us out, and thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to Batmanimation, a BatmanOnFilm.com podcast revisiting the animated TV and film adventures of the Caped Crusader. Follow Batmanimation on Twitter @Batmanimation. Follow BOF on Twitter @TheBatmanOnFilm. Follow Jett on Twitter @BatmanOnFilm. For Jett and Team BOF, I'm Announcer Rachel. Batman on Film, authoritative, definitive, the original. Established in 1998.